What if the one thing that makes you free is the same thing that destroys everything around you? Luffy is obsessed with freedom. It's not a goal, it's a compulsion, an absolute truth. But here's the uncomfortable part. Every time Luffy pursues freedom, people die. Entire nations crumble. Lives are erased. And he does it smiling. This isn't a story about a hero. This is a story about a force of nature that calls itself a dream. Luffy's philosophy is simple. Be free. Don't follow anyone else's path. Make your own choices. Live by your own rules. On the surface, this sounds beautiful. Liberating even. And for Luffy, it is. He feels alive in a way most people never will. He doesn't carry shame or regret the way other characters do. But freedom isn't neutral. Freedom has momentum, and momentum by definition crushes everything in its path. The tragedy isn't that Luffy is a bad person, he's generally good-hearted. The tragedy is that his goodness and his freedom are operating on two different times. His heart moves at the speed of connection and compassion. His freedom moves at the speed of a natural disaster. Let's look at 3 moments that expose this contradiction. First, Luffy's arrival in every village. When Luffy arrives somewhere, chaos follows, not because he's violent or reckless in intention, but because his presence creates a gravity well. Powerful people are drawn to him. Enemies emerge to fight him, and in the crossfire, innocent people suffer. Take Sabaody. Luffy didn't start a war there, but his decision to free the slave auction participants triggered a cascade that got people killed. Or Dressrosa. His choice to fight Doflamingo was right morally, but the collateral, entire sections of the kingdom were destroyed. Families lost their homes. Luffy never sees this as his responsibility because in his framework, he was being free. He was fighting for what's right. But the people living in a rubble, they don't get to choose that frame. Second, the cost of his crew. Here's where it gets darker. Luffy's freedom comes at a direct expense of his crew members. Not metaphorically, literally. These are people who follow him into situations they didn't choose, battles they didn't sign up for, all because Luffy decided to pursue his dream. Zoro nearly dies repeatedly. Nami is traumatized by her past and dragged into constant warfare. Chopper loses his innocence. Brook dies literally because of the events Luffy triggers. And everyone knows this. They see it, and they stay anyway. That's not loyalty. That's a devotion to someone else's freedom at the cost of your own. Luffy's crew isn't free. They orbit. They're satellites around Luffy's gravitational pull. Luffy never asks them to sacrifice as much, but he never stops asking them to be near him. And that's the same thing. And third, the pattern of destruction he leaves behind. Something changes, usually irreversibly. In Alabasta, a kingdom nearly tears itself apart before the thing is stabilized. In Skypiea, the entire civilization is rewritten. In Dressrosa, a dictator falls and the power vacuum is unclear. In Wano, an entire nation has been under tyranny for decades, waiting for Luffy to arrive and fix it. Luffy isn't responsible for creating these problems, but his arrival accelerates them. His freedom becomes a trigger for everyone else's trauma. He walks into these places, pursues his dream of becoming Pirate King, and leaves behind a transformed world that wasn't asking to transform. There's a moment in One Piece when Luffy almost understands this. It happens at the Marine Fort. Luffy reaches for Ace. He fails, and for the first time, Luffy's smile breaks. His freedom, his unwavering pursuit of his own path, wasn't enough to save the person he loved most. In that moment, Luffy has a choice. He could reframe his freedom. He could decide that his individual dream isn't worth the cost. That maybe, just maybe, true freedom means recognizing your impact on others and changing course. And he doesn't. Instead, he goes into isolation. He trains harder. He pursues his freedom more intensely. And he accepts that Ace's death is the price of his dream, not a reason to stop. This is the moment the tragedy crystallizes. Luffy isn't a hero who saves people through his freedom. He's a force that redefines the world around him, and he's made peace with that cost. So what does this mean? I think it's this. Luffy's freedom isn't a solution to the world's problem. It's an honest acknowledgement that some people refuse to compromise their authentic self, no matter the cost. Most of us spend our lives negotiating. We choose jobs we don't love to provide for our families. We stay in places that feel suffocating to maintain stability. We carve parts of ourselves to fit in. We call this responsibility. We call this maturity. Luffy refuses this negotiation, and the One Piece narrative wants us to celebrate him for it. But the tragic version is that Luffy's refusal comes at a cost that others pay. Not that Luffy is bad, it's that unlimited freedom in a connected world isn't actually possible. The moment you act, you affect others. The moment you pursue your dream, someone else's dreams gets displaced. Luffy has chosen to pursue his freedom so completely that he's accepted this cost. Not happily, not without pain, but he's accepted it. And paradoxically, that acceptance, that willingness to carry the weight of his freedom, might be the most tragic and most human thing about him. The question isn't, is Luffy free? He obviously is. The question is, what does it cost everyone else? And the answer, the real answer, is that it costs everything. But here's what makes Luffy different. Luffy loves people deeply. He doesn't pursue freedom to escape connection. He pursues it through connection. His crew is the evidence. He would die for them. He almost did at Marineford. So Luffy's tragedy isn't that he doesn't care. It's that he cares and refuses to compromise. He holds both truths. I love you, and I'll pursue my dream even if it costs you. That's not heroism. That's honesty. And maybe that's what One Piece is actually exploring. Not a story about a hero saving the world through freedom, but a story about what it looks like to pursue your authentic self in a world where authenticity has consequences. Luffy keeps sailing, not because he solved the contradiction, but because he has accepted it. And the weight doesn't get lighter, he just gets stronger. The beauty and tragedy of Luffy's freedom is that it forces us to ask, what will we sacrifice for authenticity? How much are we willing to cost others to be ourselves? These aren't easy questions, and One Piece doesn't pretend they are. If you felt something in this analysis, if this contradiction sits with you, drop a comment. I want to hear what freedom means to you and what you think Luffy should have done differently, or what you think he did exactly right. And if these kind of deep dives into character and philosophy resonate with you, please hit subscribe. There's a lot more to explore in One Piece and the stories we tell ourselves. Thank you for being here, and thank you for thinking with me. Have a nice night.